The grow room that I have in my room upstairs, it's starting to fill up with a bunch of green, you guys. I am really excited for how some of the seedlings that I have growing here are doing. Some of them are struggling a little bit, but others are really thriving. I have 2 of these shelving units that I got from Lowe's in the past 4 or 5 years, and I am loving how my setup is working for the things, flowers and vegetables that I am starting from seed. The area where I am going to be transplanting all of these seedlings here towards the end of April or at the beginning of May is in central Indiana. We are a zone 6, but really the zone doesn't matter. What matters is our last frost day, which is at the beginning of April, but just to be on the safe side, I wait until the beginning of May. And that's where a lot of these seedlings are going to be covering my flower beds, my raised beds. A lot of these guys are going to be in containers, and I cannot wait to show you how all of them are going to look like. I love being able to have this little area in one of my rooms upstairs because it allows me to really play with the seeds a lot earlier. It also gives me a lot of choices for starting different varieties of plants that I don't normally can find locally. I am going to turn off the LED lights from my shelving units. I have them on timers, but I really want to show you each variety and how they're doing so that if you're deciding to start this at some point, whatever it is that you're growing, then you can get inspired or you can kind of see how things grow indoors. I am going to start with these beautiful peppers. These are my poblanos and jalapeno peppers that I started indoors. I started these guys on the 6th of February. These are my jalapenos. Look how beautiful they are. They have been here for exactly a month. This is a 5x5 shallow container from Bootstrap Farmer, and my gosh, they are loving it here. I have to transplant these guys. I have to move them into bigger containers because they are definitely ready. So I am running out of time for those. My goodness, my poblano peppers, they are amazing. Look, I have plenty here. I definitely don't have enough room for every single pepper that I have here growing. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do my best to select the healthiest, stronger ones, and I'm going to keep a bunch of them for myself. And I am also going to grow some for my sisters and for my mom because they have definitely room for all of the extras. Isn't that cool? I also have these cheltepin peppers. I started these guys about a week later after I started my other peppers. They're also doing really great. I don't know if you can see, but I have some signs of early fungus gnats. These little flies going around. I have a lot of things growing in this room. It makes sense that the fungus gnats are going to be becoming a problem. I am not worried at all. I have one of those sticky traps that I'm going to show you here in a minute. Look at that. These cheltepin peppers are all for my parents. I am not keeping any of these peppers for me. These are really spicy peppers, but my parents love having these in their garden. Beautiful. This right here is my rosemary. As you can see, I gave them a little bit of water. They're leaking everywhere. I have pretty good germination. I'm not gonna lie. The seeds that I had there for rosemary were really old, but they're thriving there. I started this rosemary on the 20th of February, and they're doing really well. Rosemary is one of those plants that really grows really slowly. So these guys are going to be hanging out here for a while. You guys, look at my geraniums. These geraniums are ready. They are ready to be potted up. Look at how thick they are. I gotta transfer them into bigger containers because they're definitely ready. I have at least 20 plants here growing in these 5x5s. And I started these guys on the 20th of February as well. How beautiful. Look at my coleus. They need to be potted up as well. I have a lot of work ahead of me just potting these guys up. These guys have been growing here since the 13th of February. So they are really close to being here for about a month. And I have two different varieties. My Mighty Mosaic variety here that I have growing here on this side, it's not doing too crazy hot. But the new ones that I have growing here, they're making up for it. Beautiful. These right here are my foxgloves. I have three different varieties. I have a line of seeds here. This guy right here, which is a camelot rose. This guy I only have two seedlings, which is all right. It's okay because I have plenty of the other two varieties. And if you guys want to see how I started most of these seeds, I am going to add links in the video's description so you can kind of see how my process is for starting a bunch of these seeds. So darn cute. But look at these, you guys. These are my snapdragons. I have 5 different varieties of snapdragons growing here. And in that video where I started them, I show you that I started just different kinds in a line here. So I literally came here and I splashed a line of seeds. Isn't that just beautiful? These guys are definitely ready to be moved into bigger containers. And I started these guys on the 13th of February as well. So almost a month of growing here. Look at that. Gorgeous. These right here are all of my sugar snap peas. And I normally don't have any problems germinating sugar snaps indoors. And normally what I do is I get them to get, I don't know, about 4 to 5 inches high. And that's when I move them outside. This can handle really cold temperatures, so they will do just fine. However, as you can see, some of them are not even germinating. I don't know what happened. I don't know if the seeds were just really bad seeds. This guy has 1. I put at least 2 seeds in each individual cell here, and I have really crappy results. I mean, this guy, look, it says I have 1. So what I did is that actually yesterday I started another container of sugar snap peas, and I am not trying to grow them really high here. I just want to get them big enough so they can continue growing outside. But it happens. This is my 5th year growing plants from seed, and every year I have done this for sugar snap peas, and this is the first year where I have really bad results as far as the seeds germinating. Right here is ginger. And ginger is really slow to get going, you guys. Some of the rhizomes there are just showing signs of sprouts coming up. This is going to take a while, and that's why we started them in February, because they take a while. These right here are all of my petunias that I started on the 1st of March. So they barely have been here for a week. I have some signs of petunias germinating there. I have 3 containers because I have 3 different varieties for petunias. And what's going to happen is that when the seedlings are a little bit taller, about an inch tall or so, that's when I'm going to be dividing them into bigger containers. What my idea behind using 1 container for all of the seeds of the 1 variety is just to get the seeds to germinate. That way I don't have to waste space or potting soil whenever I am starting the seeds in a different way. They're very tiny, and that's okay. Petunias also grow really slow. And I'm really happy to show you my Lantas, you guys. This is probably the year that I think after trying them for 4 years, this is probably the biggest that I have grown Lantas. And I think that they could be ready to be moved into a bigger container. I started these guys the 27th of December. And I started them in smaller containers in one of the 5x5 containers, just to get the seeds to germinate. And when they were tiny bed, itty beds, then I moved them here into these tiny little containers. And they're doing amazing. They're just so beautiful. So maybe this is the year for growing Lantas for me. Okay, these are hilarious. These are my Eucalyptus. I also started my Eucalyptus with the Lantas there on December, and they're struggling. I mean, right here I had 6 beautiful seedlings, and so far I have these 2 that are barely trying to make it. They're fighting for their life, but I also have a 3rd one over here that is making it out of these 4 in this container. So together I have 3 Eucalyptus, and I guess that's really all I need. So wish me luck. This is my last tray that I'm about to show you. I have a few things growing here. Well, this one doesn't have a tag, so I can't tell you what it is. This is what happens when you don't tag your seedlings. I'm gonna have to go back and check which one that is. But this right here is my lemongrass. Now these guys, I started them on the 1st of March as well, and I can see some green happening there. Lemongrass is really not that picky for me. It doesn't really fight me that much. Now, all of these guys right here in the green containers are zinnias, and I am starting zinnias a little bit early this year, only because I want to grow them as big as possible, and I am going to probably end up using the 5-inch containers that I have from Bootstrap so that I can get big bushy plants to transplant outdoors. Now I'm going to do another set of zinnia seeds, probably towards the middle of April, so that by the time that May comes, they are ready to be transplanted outside. But these guys, these right here, are doing great. Now some of them are slower than others. They were started on the same day, and you can see here. These are different varieties, and some of them are smaller than others, and that's fine. It's completely fine. This right here on the pink containers is oregano. Look at that beautiful germination that I have. I have really good germination. So what's going to happen is that here in a few weeks, when I am ready to transplant these guys, I am probably going to make 2 or 3 plants out of each container, out of each cell, because they are definitely full with seeds, and I love that. This one I also don't know what it is. That's what happens when you don't tag your seedlings. I have no clue. I have no clue what this is. I'll figure it out. So that's it for this video, you guys. Hopefully that gives you a little bit of an idea of the things that are currently growing inside my grow room. I am starting a bunch of other seeds this month. Hopefully I can show you that as well, but feel free to follow me on Instagram under SoilandMagaritas. I post a lot of things on my stories there of the things that I'm currently doing. But if not, if you are new to this channel, or maybe this is the first video that you're watching from me, feel free to subscribe. Let me know what you think of it. And if you are studying any seeds indoors, let me know how they're doing. Thank you, and until the next time.